Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Friday, June 6th, right? So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought today we'd talk about great customer service, but knowing where to draw the line and not go over because of the repercussions that it brings. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and yes, this is a weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Friday. That's the end of the work week, guys. Payday for some. So I always talk about offering great customer service. But when do you get in trouble when you're trying to do that? And some of the areas that we're going to cover today are moving people's machines ahead of other people's machines, dropping what you're doing to go help somebody, and the list goes on, right? The biggest biggie that we had problems in the past, and that is a customer calls or a customer stops in, says they're having problems with their machine, this or that, and we come take a quick look at it. And if they're a neighbor, you hate to say no, right? So you take and stop what you're doing, run up to their place quick, and you get them going. Oh, they're all so happy, and you don't bother charging them. Okay, there's your first no-no. I know you're trying to be good. I know you're trying to be a good neighbor and everything else, but this is going to lead you to oblivion. And why do I say that? Because the next time they have a problem, you're just going to assume that you're going to drop everything, and you could have a yard full of stuff and run up there and take care of theirs first and not get charged again. And then what ends up happening, because it's happened to us in the past, is they come back. Let's say it's during the off season and you helped them out. Now you're swamped and they show up. And they kind of expect that you're just going to drop whatever you're doing because they're not thinking, okay? They're thinking about their own problem. They're not thinking about what's going on with you and all the other customers' problems. And that's their focus, is trying to figure out a solution to their problem. But when you tell them, look, we're slammed, when we get a minute, we'll come up and take a quick look at it. What they don't understand is if they pull you off from what you're working on, that's paid money. That's paid for the shop. And as much as I love all my neighbors and stuff, I have to concentrate on first in, first out when we have a bunch of stuff. So what ends up happening, because it has happened in the past, is they'll come down and ask during your busy season, and you tell them, just as soon as I get freed up here, I'll come up and take a look. So the following day, you still haven't made it there. And they're stewing because you haven't rushed right up there to take care of their problem. And if it goes long enough, by the second day, they're really pissed and they'll give you a call and say, don't bother, I decided to go a different route. And then be mad at you because you weren't willing to drop everything out of hat to go help them. And the way I try to get my neighbors to understand is, if you're headed for work and that's what pays your income, and I have a problem and I bring my problem to you, you're going to have to do it on your time, not my time, your time. And if you're busy at work, working overtime, this and that, and I'm looking for free service or free what have you, why should I have the expectations that you should drop everything you're doing at a hat to come help me? And that's what I try to tell my customers is, look, First in, first out. Everybody problem is a big deal. They can't deal with it. That's why it's here. When we get caught up, or we get to a point of where we're waiting on parts, that's where we are most of the time, we'll come up quick and take a look at it. If it's a quick fix, fine. But if it's not, then we're going to have to get it to the shop, and you're going to pay to have it fixed. Because I can't take time away from other customers' machines to do you a freebie. And that's where the first thing you have to be careful of when you start doing this type of business is every family member, friend, and what have you is going to expect you to drop everything and come bail them out. And you say, oh no, I got boundaries. I got news for you. They'll push your boundaries. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to help out people in the neighborhood. Is that sometimes they come to expect you're going to drop everything and come running and do their bidding. And that's just not always possible, not always the case. You know, if they come during the off season and things are slow and you go up and take a look and fix their issue, they shouldn't have the same expectations of coming during the middle of May to June when you're swamped and expect the same treatment. But they do. No, we just had one. You know, it was with a Bobcat mini excavator. And we've worked on it twice for him. And we billed him nothing for it. And he couldn't get it to start. So we told him we eliminated everything but the fuel pump. So we told him it needs a new fuel pump. Went and bought a new fuel pump. We told him, go right to the auto parts, buy a 12 volt fuel pump. We'll put the ends on it, plug it in, off you go. So he went and he got a Bobcat OEM fuel pump. Didn't fix his problem. Down he come again. It's not working still with the new fuel pump. So Claude said, maybe the fuel pump you got is bad. They do come once in a while. And Claude said, we'll be up shortly or to take a look at it. The following day came and I got a phone call from the guy saying, don't bother. I ordered another fuel pump. Why would you order another fuel pump unless you checked the first one first? Because he got antsy and he wanted his stuff fixed and Claude didn't rush right up there. Same thing goes for stuff coming into the shop. People are dropping off their equipment, you're picking up their equipment. All of a sudden you got family and friends that are dropping theirs off, and their expectation is that you're going to drop what you're doing and fix theirs first. Because the biggest question I get from most customers is, how long is it going to be? Well, you're going to have it done by tomorrow? And I'm looking at 20 machines in the yard already, and they want to know if I can get it done by tomorrow? Ain't happening. See, all it takes is to try to help that customer out that one time by when they drop it off, you get it in, get it out as a favor, and they're going to be back there the next time expecting the same thing. So where am I leading up to? And that is, you have to teach your customers the expectations of what you can offer them. You have to teach them. And that means, like yesterday, I had a guy get a hold of me. He's a long-time customer. He's got a Massey Ferguson 35 tractor. Can't get it to shift. And I know he's gearing up for haying season. But as I explained to him quick, was we're backed up. I'll get to it as soon as I can. It's not going to be probably till Monday or Tuesday. And the guy comes back, okay, sounds great, Eric. If we had run over there yesterday afternoon and fixed that guy's issue, the next time he has an issue, he's going to expect the same thing. And it's not fair to all the other customers that are sitting there waiting, right? If you got 10 customers, where is one more important than the other? And I always tell people that when it comes to friends and family, we charge them double. Because they're always trying to get a deal. They're always trying to get it for just the cost of labor or just the cost of parts. But you have to teach your customers how to treat you, of how to get what they want, but also on your time schedule. And if you're teaching your customers that you're willing to drop everybody else at a drop of a hat and run to them, not good. So the next question comes up, well, how do I teach my customers how to treat me? It's easy. Being fair. Even if you have to explain it to your customer of how is it fair if your machine came in 2 weeks ago and we haven't gotten it out yet, if I'm working on another guy's machine that just came in today and not working on yours, how would you feel? You're asking me to do the same thing, right? So you're teaching your customer expectations as well as what's fair to everybody involved. Them, your other customer, and of course you. We all do it. We all help somebody out in a quick fix. And what's the other easy thing to do in the shop that is not good is that you concentrate on the easy stuff first, knock it out to get paid, and leave the complicated stuff for last. And next thing you know, you have a bunch of complicated stuff that's not done. And you have customers calling irate, where is my tractor? Where is my lawnmower? Where is? Because you've decided that, well, we just got 3 mowers in today and all they need is a service. Let's go ahead and knock those 3 services out. And the fellow that needs to have a new spindle put in and a new belt put on, we'll leave them until later. And then we leave them till later again. Next thing you know, knocking that spindle and belt out wouldn't have taken that much longer. But you as a shop had decided to run with the quick fix, get it out, get paid, go on to the next. And you can't do that. Yes, I know. When someone sends their machine just for a simple tune-up, their expectations are going to have it back within a week. So if you take it back the following day or the same day, guess what's going to happen the next time? They're going to expect you to have it fixed and back by the same day, if not a day after. And if it's not there, then they become irate with you. And in all honesty, it's uncalled for, but you're teaching them that that's acceptable. That their expectations of having it that day or the next day is something as a learned behavior, is what you've taught them to expect. So anything less, you're going to be the bad guy. So it's better to first in, first out. If you're waiting on parts, that's one thing. But if the parts are sitting there and you're still overlooking that deck with the spindle and you're doing the knockout services, stop. Stop right there. If you've got the parts, put the parts into it and get that person fixed just as fast as you are the others, because that person is no more or no less important to you as a customer, right? Yeah, it may need more time, and you're still getting paid by the hour, right? Last I knew, unless you do it by the job. And when I bring things to this channel, it's from experience. It's of trying it and doing certain things, and where we've seen positive things come back and negative. And this is one of those places where it always turns out to be a negative. It does. As much as you try to baby your customers and treat them and stuff like that, if you don't teach them how to behave and what their expectations are realistic, then it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a few happy customers, but you're going to have more pissed off customers because they're still waiting on the machine because you didn't want to put a spindle and belt on and put it back onto the deck, onto the machine, because you could knock out 2 services in the same amount of time. All right. But first in, first out. Do the spindle, do the belt, put it on the machine, knock it out, get that customer going, then do one of your services unless you have other machines ahead of it. If you're waiting on parts, that's one thing. But the minute those parts land there, you need to jump back and get on it. And we have customers all the time say, I'm in no hurry. And then the next day they call and ask you if it's done. If that's happening, then I know that you're not teaching the customer how to treat you properly. That their expectations shouldn't be they're going to have it back the following day. Maybe a simple service, but if you got 10 more machines ahead of them that you need to get to, you may be a day or two before you get to even looking at it, right? So the customer's expectations that it's going to be done tomorrow has to have come from somewhere. And a lot of times it's what they hear you say when you're picking it up, because they'll ask small things like, how long do you think it'll take? How much do you think it'll be? And our normal thing is, it shouldn't take us long. It doesn't look like it's a big deal. But all those keywords to a customer's mind is cheap and quick. That's what it comes out to be. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. I'm going to finish out the Friday here. But the key thing that I'm trying to get across is it's great to help out customers, right? That's what we're here for. Problem solving to our customer. But in the same breath, we can't have customers not treating us the way we should be treated. And that is, we teach our customers how to treat us. And the same thing in life, you teach other people how to treat you. If you don't speak up when someone does something that is really inappropriate, then they'll continue doing it until you speak up and say enough is enough, right? If you catch it way out there, it may have never happened. And the same thing goes with running a business. You can't take people bringing stuff in today and doing their stuff when you got people's that had dropped it off last week, or you picked it up last week and the parts are sitting there ready to go, but you're doing quick in and outs. And dropping everything that you have going on in the yard to go help a neighbor on a mechanical thing doesn't work out well in the end either, because you don't end up charging usually. And then their expectations are you're going to do it every time. And the next time it comes around and you don't do it, then they're pissed at you, which really isn't fair. But you've taught them that that's acceptable. So on that note, put in the comments stuff that you've run into if you have a shop or a business of something similar. And how did you curb it? How did you take care of it? So on that note, you guys have a great Friday, a great weekend. I'm assuming I'll have something out over the weekend. But on that note, you guys have a great Friday.